think over the last year, Pope Francis has really given us an example of living in solidarity with the poor and those who are suffering in the world, and I think that he's helped us to get away from issues that would divide us and just encouraged us to focus on the message of loving all people and trying to get back to that central core of the gospel.
During the past year, since Pope Francis was named Pope, I think it has been a very exciting time for not only the Catholic Church, but people of all faith traditions and religious denominations throughout the world. I think he has brought a lot of freshness and energy and openness pertaining to people's faith life and to living out the gospel.
In the past year, Pope Francis has put emphasis on the poor that the world really needs, and that's something that is really important to me to focus on to make the world a better place and a better place to live in.
So over the past year, I've seen the Catholic Church grow a lot and kind of go back to some of the things that I really think are fundamental to Christianity, such as non-judgment and loving your neighbor and helping people get out of poverty and service to your community. And I think that that's something that's very refreshing to a lot of younger people within the church, which is why I think that term, the Francis effect, came about, just because a lot of people really identified with that, and sometimes the church felt like it could get away from that. So overall, I just think in the past year it's gotten back to some of the core of what it was founded on, and I really appreciate that Pope Francis has been able to do that.
Well, when I think of this anniversary and 1 year with Pope Francis, Pope Francis, I guess what strikes me is that, thinking back, it was obvious that the cardinals wanted a reformer, right? That's what they wanted. And people talk about that. They wanted someone who could reform, especially the Curia, and I think that's exactly what we've seen. We've seen someone who is focused on reform. I think that's what's caused so much interest, because he's also shown that he's a man who's unafraid. I think that is so striking to people, that he's unafraid to break with traditions, especially our human traditions, like even the things that a pope wears or the things that a pope normally does or doesn't do. And so I think people realize this man is serious. He's his own man. And I think that has caused a lot of people to be nervous, especially around him, because he's in some ways taking on some of the vested interests in his Curia organization. But it's also made him very exciting. And I think people realize something different is happening.